Listeners, you are onto the Fortunes Radio on 99.3 frequency modulation Kaduna. I am Balarabe Zaria with this week's edition of the Weekend News Review. In today's edition, we have news, correspondence reports, and a review of some major events of the outgoing week. In today's package, the emergence of new terrorist group called Lakurawa is gradually gaining ground by extending its coverage of the nation. The group was first noticed in Sokoto and Kebbi State. Sadly, the group has now appeared in Niger and Kaduna State respectively. It was during the week, federal government confirmed that it spent a total sum of 8.8 billion naira for the repair and restoration of transmission towers that were vandalized across various regions of the country. In the same week, under review, the International Human Rights Protection Forum Service has shortlisted the Minister of State for Defense, Dr. Bello Matoli, for Human Rights Leadership Award as the Minister of the Year. Also during the week, a Kano High Court on Wednesday reserved ruling in a suit filed by the National Union of Local Government Employees against the Central Bank of Nigeria and others from withholding Kano local government allocations. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu expresses delight for the successful revitalization of Port Harcourt refinery. We have also on sports review of major matches during the outgoing week. But before all this, let me invite Hawa'u Aminulere to give us an update on today's Global Fortunes news.
Governor Obasani of Kaduna State, in a major cabinet reshuffle, has sacked the Commissioner for Internal Security, Samuel Arwan, alongside other key members of his cabinet. This was contained in a statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Ibrahim Musa, issued yesterday in Kaduna. It will be recalled that Arwan was appointed in 2019 by the immediate past governor of the state, Nasir El-Rufai, then as the first Commissioner for Internal Security when the ministry was created. In a gesture of goodwill and support, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has congratulated Alhassan Yahya on his election as the president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists. Yahya emerged victorious during the 8th Triennial National Delegate Conference held in Owerri on November 27, 2024. In a statement issued yesterday by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the president also commended the union for conducting a peaceful and orderly election, which saw Yahya assume leadership alongside other newly elected executives. President Tinubu described Yahya's overwhelming victory as a reflection of the confidence NUJ members have in his leadership abilities. Kaduna State Government has embarked on the construction of road network across the 33 local government areas of the state to facilitate the movement of goods and services, especially in the rural areas. Governor Obasani said this at a town hall meeting preparatory for discussion of the 2025 annual budget in Kaduna. Senator Obasani said out of the 68 road projects embarked upon in the state, 50 of them are based in the rural areas. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has noticed the general public of the state to counterfeit Combia Artemether Lumefantrine dispensable tablets in Nigeria. The notification is in a public alert marked issued on NAFDAC website, disclosing the dates of manufacturing of the drug to be February 2023 and June 2023. NAFDAC in the alert said that all its zonal directors and state coordinators had been directed to carry out surveillance and mop up the counterfeit products within the zones and states. It advised importers, distributors, retailers, healthcare professionals and caregivers to exercise caution and vigilance within the supply chain and avoid importation, distribution, sales and usage of the counterfeit products. Lastly, The Sokoto State chapter of the Nigerian Labour Congress has suspended its planned strike over the implementation of the 70,000 naira minimum wage. The state NLC chairman, Comrade Abdullahi Ali Jongo, disclosed this during a press briefing during the weekend. He revealed that the new wage, set to take effect in January 2024, will benefit genuine council workers and teachers across the state. Speaking after a meeting with the union executives at the NLC Secretariat in Sokoto, Jungo expressed the branch support for the agreement reached within the state government.
Thank you very much, Hawa Aminulere, with that update. We now go straight into the report of the day. Our first report, Malang Awal Gwaranyo, is a lecturer at Department of Mass Communication, Kaduna Polytechnic, vis-a-vis public analyst and commentator. Fortune's FM correspondent Ali Ibrahim Hadis seek audience will seem on way to degrade the expansionism of this terror group.
Emergence of new terrorist armed group known as Lakurawa in northern parts of northwestern states, Sokoto and Kebbi states, at least with their presence, more than 10 people were killed in Mera village of Kebbi state. This is a clear testimony that it is a terror organization. It will be recalled that in recent time, the chief of defense staff Christopher Musa had warned the new terror armed groups to desist from all forms of attacks before the military storm on them. However, it is in the outgoing week the Lakurawa armed group emerged again in Kaduna and Niger State, North Central states, that led the Ministry of Defense to set a special unit command to combat their activities and maintain security in the northern states. In an phone interview with a lecturer from the Department of Mass Communication, Kaduna Polytechnic, Mr. Awal Ahmed Ibrahim Goranyo shared his view on the expansion of the Lakurawa terrorist group in northern states.
This is very annoying and then very pathetic. And then it is just like the normal issues which are happening in Nigeria. Sometimes things started, the government or the people sometimes get used to feeling mind about the activities of some other people, which might continue to eliminate and then manifest to a very dangerous activity. So it has been said that this Lakurawa that started has not just started in a twinkle of an eye. The people around the communities of mostly Sokoto, Kebbi, and Zamfara state know the existence of this terrorist group.
Awal Ibrahim Goranyo further said the Nigerian military are doing their possible best in combating insecurity in the northern part of the country. Aliyu Ibrahim Hadis reporting for Fortune's Weekend News Review.
Very much Hadis with this report. Incidentally, on the issue of the emergence of Lakurawa, with me here in the studio is public analyst and commentator of national and international issue in passing on Comrade Musa Zubairu. Well, you have had the submission of one of you, a lecturer with Kaduna Polytechnic. Let us look at it from wider perspective. What comes to your mind when we have noticed the expansionism of the coverage of these activities of this terrorist group?
Well, you see, what will really come to the mind, I think, about the expansionism of this Lakurawa group. You see, Lakurawa group, from the reports we have received and what we have read, is that these are groups of people that have really been in existence. Nobody takes care of them. Nobody knows what they are doing. They were able to even penetrate through the societies they were mingling with. Because these Lakurawa people, at first they started as savers of the communities that were bedeviled by these insurgencies. They will go there, they will assist them, they will do everything that the people so require to live in a society that is really worth living. But unfortunately, the issue really changed hands to the extent that they have started taking the laws into their hands, to the extent that they even refuse to even follow the laws of Nigeria, the laws of the country. They refuse to even recognize the constituted authorities in the areas they are supposed to be living. So you see, the Lakurawa really have really crossed the bounds within the Nigerian community, to the extent that little did we know that they are creating havocs in the local areas they were living in, because even the military were really talking that these people are crossing the lines. So if the military really is talking about that, what do you expect the common people to say? The common people have nothing to say, because the issue of security lies with the people who are really settled with that. So the people settled with that are the law enforcers in Nigeria. You are talking about the police, you are talking about the army, you are talking about the DSS. So if really these organized agencies could not be able to give you information for you to take the decisions that you are supposed to take to protect the lives and properties of the people, then I think really we have really a serious problem there. So really the issue of Lakura, when we look at it, is that really more needs to be done by the law enforcers in this country.
Okay.
Really, more needs to be done.
This is it. Well, the most dangerous aspect of it is the incursion into our state, Kaduna State.
Yes.
Is it not frightening, don't
No.
you? Yes.
Anywhere is frightening, because you see, we are talking of the generality of our people. Coming in, incursion into Kaduna State, they have been here for long. All these problems we have had in the past about the penetration of our schools by some of these insurgents, these bandits and what have you, they are the Lakurawas. Because a lot of people, when they were released by these bandits, they will tell you that some of them are not even Nigerians. And the funny thing about it, the most annoying thing about it, is that the Lakurawas were found, really, some people were really suggesting that these people are either from Somalia or from Ethiopia, not even in West Africa, but very, very far away. To the extent that when they came, they were really giving people soccer, as I said, because they were saying that now, look, we will help people to sanitize this, we will chase these bandits away and from your communities and what have you. So these people really have been really deceiving the people. They have deceived the government and the agencies of the government. And the funny thing is that the agencies of the government allow these people really to really take their time to do it. I'm happy that now the government really has realized that. I'm happy that the government really is up to the task. I'm happy that the chief of our defense staff is giving them orders and is really warning them not to cross the line, is warning them not to do what is not expected. I was warning them not to start bending the rules of the nation.
Okay, lastly, looking at the degree or sophistication of the arms, do you think Nigerian security, can withstand to actually fight these people?
Yes, we can, because whatever sophistication of weapons they have, they don't have the quantity that Nigerian army got. So even if they have that sophistication, they don't have that quantity, and they don't have that numerical strength with which they can be able to fight our system. So it's just that maybe the system is looking at it from the international point of view, because you see, if you want to really engage in any of these kind of things, you really have to understand the code of laws of the of international code of laws. And some of these international code of laws is that you should know how to kill, who to attack, and all these things. So at least when you look at the Nigerian army, they are really aware of these things, and they are very careful about it. They don't want to really jump into it. Otherwise, they should have just gone to the areas where some of these bandits are and then bombard the whole area. But the fact is that you are thinking of the animals there. You are thinking of these people that are not really not involved. That they are not. You see, you don't really get people that are really not committing any offense to punish them unnecessarily. So I think these are the kind of engagement that the Nigerian army are looking at, and that's why people are saying that there is no way that we can really go into settlement with some of these. Some of these people. It's not like that. I think the Nigerian army really are looking at it from a different thing. But I think Nigerian army, the people that are really supplying them with the necessary information with which to contain some of these people, I think it is important that some of these really things really are looked into.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Comrade Musa Zubairu, like I said, analyst and public commentator, who spoke, of course, on the extent of expansionism of these dreaded, so to say, Lakurawas. Now to our second report. The federal government last week confirmed that it spent a total sum of 8.8 billion naira for the repairs and restoration of transmission towers that were vandalized across various regions of the country in 2024. Fortune's radio correspondent Hafsat Ibrahim Ali also engaged Mohammed Sani Magaji on the legitimacy of this amount or otherwise, and also the steps to take to about future occurrence.
The federal government has confirmed that it spent a total sum of 8.8 billion naira for the repair and restoration of transmission towers that were vandalized across various regions of the country in 2024. The managing director and chief executive officer of the Transition Company of Nigeria, Ahmed Abdulaziz, revealed that at a quarterly power sector working group meeting in Abuja, sociologist Muhammad Sani Magaji shared his view on the amount of billions spent on regular basic maintenance for the improvement of electricity in Nigeria.
Why is replacement cost effective than repair in my own country? The federal government should listen to voice of reason. People like Dr. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso have urged the federal government to encourage state investment in alternative power to reduce reliance on the country's aging power infrastructure. Example can be given to Kano, which is very suitable for generating energy through solar power because it is located in the tropics where sunlight is consistently available. Another thing is the federal government needs to enact strict laws that is increase penalties for those who vandalize public properties. Lastly, I call on the federal government, the security agencies and citizens and all stakeholders involved who need to work together to protect power installations and prevent these criminal activities.
Furthermore, Muhammad Sani Magaji urged federal government to use the advice made by the former governor of Kano State, also the leader of the New Nigeria People's Party, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, to give free hand to state government to set its own electricity for economic growth in the states. Hafsat Ibrahim Ali reporting for Weekend Review.
Thank you very much, Hafsat Ibrahim Ali, with that report. Now to our third report. It was during the week the Minister of State for Defense, Dr. Bello Mutawalli, was honored and recognized by the International Human Rights Protection Forum Service for his Human Rights Leadership Award as the Minister of the Year. Nusaiba Ismail Abdullahi is a reporter whose Fortunes Radio Kaduna complete the story.
This recognition comes in light of Matawale's outstanding efforts in combating banditry and promoting human rights in Nigeria. In a letter to the minister and signed by Ambassador Adebayo Lion Ogori, the organization said Matawale has demonstrated exemplary leadership in the fight against banditry, prioritizing the protection of civilians, particularly women and children. The letter said his commitment to rehabilitation, reconstruction and peaceful coexistence in affected areas has been instrumental in promoting human dignity and upholding the rights of all individuals. That has been the report. Nusaiba Ismail Abdullahi reporting for Weekend Review.
Okay, thank you, Nusaibat. To our fourth report. Also during the week under review, a Kano High Court reserved ruling in a suit filed by the National Union of Local Government Employees against the Central Bank of Nigeria and others from withholding Kano local government allocations. Fortune's correspondent Hadi Bawatsapi engaged a luminary in that sector and analyst where he speaks on the legitimacy or legality on these steps taken by Kano High Court.
The court had on November 6 restrained the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Attorney General of the Federation and others from withholding Kano State 44 local government allocation. Earlier, the applicants ruled their counsel, Malam Bashir Yusuf Muhammad, on a motion seeking the court to restrain the respondent from withholding or delaying allocations essential for local government in the state. In his response, the chairman, National Union of Local Government Employees, Kano State Chapter, Ibrahim Muhammad, emphasized concern on the issue, saying the move has brought series of challenges to local government councils across the state. Also, the Alliance for Good Governance has expressed its concern over the livelihood of the federal government withholding statutory allocation for the 44 local government council in the state. The national coordinator of the group, Malam Tango Musa, alleged that the APC ruling government, which faulted the entire process of local government council polls from the beginning, would not allow the impunity in the state. In his remarks, the analyst, Malam Sani Akase, commended the recent court ruling on the Central Bank of Nigeria and others, noting that this could bring to an end the current hardship being faced by the citizenry, particularly at the grassroots levels?
The ruling is in the favor of the local governments. It's quite all right for them to the central bank to release the money to release the pound to the local government so that they will execute the project that they are available. They are mainly for the poor or the whalers on of that local government. I support such kind of the action that the court rule again ordered the central bank to release the pound for them. It's better for them to share or to do the right thing for the people that they are within the localities. This it has happened during, I think, Obasanjo, when Obasanjo stopped Lagos State Fund. That very period, the state has suffered a little bit because they have their own way of generating revenues. That is why they sustain up to that period.
The analysts, however, maintain that in view on how the country faces so many challenges, such action by central bank should not be taken against any state of the federation, and that this could be the only way forward for socio-economic development in the country. I'm Hadi Batsafe, reporting for Fortunes Radio Weekend Review.
Thank you, Mr. Hadi, for that report. Our fifth report: despite the alleged take-up of Port Harcourt refinery, we still have Wari and Kaduna refineries. Fortunes reporter Mariam Dauda Abdul Aziz discussed with engineer Musa Idris, analyst and public commentator on national and international issue. He explained the impact of the resuscitation.
I don't think that Port Harcourt refinery is even ready for commissioning. A lot of things has happened in the past where I had NNPC management saying that they have commissioned the Port Harcourt refinery. You want to recall that since sometimes in December last year, today that they are saying that it has been commissioned. What I want to say that from the findings I made is that the crude distillation unit of the refinery, that the CDU, is ready. But the catalytic unit and the reforming unit, these are the vital units, components of the refinery that can make it functional. Those two components are completely not ready. So it will not be proper to say that the refinery is ready. I think it is not ready. It's unfortunate at this time where we had refinery having over 65 years of refining experience, beginning from this very refinery that they are saying they have commissioned to date. So if they had this experience, why would they be lying to Nigerians to the fact that the president is even commending them for a job well done? It is also apparent that only 2 trucks came out from the loading bay when they said that they are already trucking. I think again there is nothing like that. I think it's that time that NNPC stopped lying to Nigerians. We had it so bad in the past. And now that Dangote refinery has come on stream, I think what the NNPC need to do is to encourage Dangote just so that they can regulate him, just so that they will have cheap petroleum product.
Well, that was Mariam Dauda Abdul Aziz with engineer Musa Idris. And on sports, Ibrahim Hamza has an update of matches during the outgoing week.
On sport today, Katsina United has lost against Abia Warriors to 2-0, while Lobby Stars beat Kwara United 1-0. Also, Bendel Insurance beat Plateau United by 2-1. In UEFA Champions League, Liverpool beat Real Madrid 2-0, while Aston Villa and Juventus drew. Arsenal beat Sporting Lisbon by 5-1. AS Monaco lost against Benfica 3-2. Young Boys lost against Atalanta by 6-1. FIFA has released the names of World Best Players of the Year 2024. Names are Hernandez Rodriguez of Manchester City, Gino Benito of Real Madrid, Yamil of Barcelona, and Lionel Messi of Inter Miami. Jody Bellingham of Real Madrid, Danny Carvajal of Real Madrid, also Emilio Martinez of Aston Villa, Kelly Mbappe of Real Madrid, Toni Kroos of Real Madrid, Erling Haaland of Manchester City, and lastly Florian Wirtz of Bayer Leverkusen. In tennis, Jannik Sinner of Italy has won Davis Cup after beating the Netherlands star Chris Paul with 7-6, 6-2 in Spain. In another story, the Formula 1 star Max Verstappen of Netherlands has won the Las Vegas race in America. And that's what for today.
Well, with this sports review update, we conclude this week's edition of the entire package of the end of the week review. On behalf of the producer of the program, who is unavoidably absent in person of Ibrahim Dosara, I am Balarabe Zaria that stood in for him, thanking you for listening. I also want to appreciate our engineers, Yusuf Bobai, and Danjuma Yohana Bello for working tirelessly to ensure the success of this program.